Hey, Sully800 here. I recently started my journey to buy a plot of land on which to build an off-grid homestead. This is something that I've wanted to do for a really long time, so I'm really excited for it to be underway now. I'm going to follow up with more details in a second video on what I'm actually looking for in a plot of land, but this video is going to cover some of the things that we saw and did during that trip. So I set out with one of my best friends, Blake, and we headed out to Maine as our first destination. So we were looking all over New England. Over the course of 1 week, we looked at roughly 20 properties in Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire. These were properties that we had been researching and looking online at for several months. I didn't get footage of every property that we saw, so we started out by looking at one in Maine that was just off of the Appalachian Trail. This is in Monson, Maine, which is the very last town at the start of the 100-mile wilderness. I love hiking, so this was kind of my dream location. I thought that being next to the Appalachian Trail and being able to set up some kind of cabin that you could take in hikers, it was really exciting. So the property turned out to not be quite what we were looking for, and as you'll see, then we journeyed on to Vermont and saw a lot of different things. And the one footage that I did get while we were in Monson was of their Memorial Day parade. Now, it's a very small town, so as you'll see, it's a very small parade. It's actually the town's only tricycle. See, we're heading back into Monson, Maine. Spent 2 days in Monson, Maine. Saw 2 properties, 50 acres just off of the Appalachian Trail, but with no direct access to the property, so from the road or anything like that. So we're gonna be moving on, hiking to Barren Mountain. Hiking to Barren Mountain today, camping out on the Appalachian Trail. So see what comes next. Alright, we're towards the base of Barren Mountain. We've reached the end of the road, so we're going to start hiking. Couple hours of hiking, and that's the reward there. Never comes through quite as well on the camera, but it's a pretty nice view up here. Well, there she is. So I guess we can get a bit of a better view in the fire tower. But now we got 360 degrees to enjoy. There's the lake. You can see the color coming in. Try to drag it around. So I got more lakes over there. And the amazing thing is hundreds of miles around, you can't see a single sign of human life unless you look straight down. Alright, we've come up across Cloud Pond, off a little spur trail, half-mile spur trail along the AT. Mosquitoes are really bad right here, so I'm going to get walking. We'll be spending the night in a lean-to shelter at the top. And then, so we're not doing any serious hiking, turning around in the morning, heading back in our car and heading over towards Penobscot, Maine to see some more properties. There you have home sweet home for the night. Cloud Pond lean-to. I look forward to another night out in the woods. Just made it down off the mountain. Through the rain. That's the first moose I've ever seen. Dude, I'm right on him. That's a fucking bull, man. Here it is. Little tiny horn. It's amazing. That moose had been just a stone's throw up from our car. It's long gone now, but it's pretty magnificent. So anyway, as you can tell, it's been raining all day. Got our pack covers on. Gonna head over, look at some more properties today. We're back on the road today. Beautiful day after a ton of rain yesterday. So I didn't get any film of it, but we saw a property just outside of Brownville, Maine. Very densely wooded property, but a lot of really young trees there, so many maple saplings and not too many trees over kind of 8-inch diameter, so it's a younger plot of land. Best feature of it is probably, what, 42 acres. Best feature of it is a little dam, beaver dam, that's created a pretty small lake, but it looks like you could actually ride a canoe on it. So this is a good property, we'll consider that. And now we're on our way, well, we're in Vermont, headed up to Troy, Vermont, to look at a couple of properties in Northeast Kingdom, so get some fun with that. This is the North J property, so that tree line back there is Canadian border. That was the road in we were just looking at. So the property goes about 20 feet into the woods there, all this open space. Right of way that we came in on is kind of rough. It's definitely accessible, but it goes quite a ways through some other properties. This cleared path, I guess, is they do for all the Canadian border.
All the way up through there.
Yeah. That's funny. You can see all the way up the hill.
Yeah, that's over the mountain where I was trying to watch the road and I wanted you to look back, but I didn't catch it at the right time.
That whole clearing all the way along is Canadian border.
It goes until it's past J and stays that way.
See where that white is?
And then there's a marker.
Yep.
I'd say that might be where another one of these are.
Right.
That might be about where.
But it's mostly just open land here.
Yeah.
The nice part about this one being all open, that's 10.3 acres, kind of all bordered by the woods. So it gives us good perspective.
18 acres?
Versus 18 acres on the last one we saw. 42, 50 acres back in Maine.
Probably the whole thing.
Now, as I said, we saw a lot of different properties that I didn't get any footage of. There was one in Canaan, Vermont, which is in the very northeast corner of Vermont. This property was, I think, 82 acres, so it was a huge lot, and it was basically on top of a 2,200-foot mountain. Had great views all around. You could see Canada, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine from the top of this hill. So it was a really great spot. It looked like it had a lot of quality trees on it, but it was also very hard to access. The roads were really rough, and it was a very mountainous area. So I think it's the kind of property that I would like to have eventually. But for now, it was probably a little too ambitious for what I'm looking for. This is the Journey's End property, so end of the long trail in Vermont is right there. Well, I guess 2 miles in, but you have to walk up this way. So when Blake hiked the long trail, he said this is where he got picked up, and then the property is just into the woods here. So this is 16.7 acres, I think. There's a cabin on the lot. It's a little bit more expensive, but being that close to the entrance of the long trail is really, really nice. Here's the stone wall on the edge of the property. Rings around the whole thing. Really nice woods, really easy to walk through here. And now we're gonna head up towards the cabin. So here's the cabin on the end of the trail. Got a well here already. So the well's not hooked up, but we can see water down at the bottom. Maybe 8 feet down. Nice little Nice little woodshed storage. Here's the cabin. Wood stove there. 2 wood stoves. Let's see, a little bunk room, 3 bunks. Pretty dark. And then, yeah, this is the master, huh?
Oh yeah.
It's nice. Nice little view. So you got propane heat, propane stoves, some propane lights, wood stoves inside. Pretty nice setup. The Journey's End property had a lot of potential. It was close to the end of the long trail, which is really exciting for me, and the woods just had a great quality to them. It was probably the nicest set of trees that we walked through the entire time we were there. And already having a cabin on the property, a well, things like that, the infrastructure was already started. But because of those things, it was also out of our price range. And actually that's a lot of what I want to do with my property in the first place, is design the infrastructure, design and build my own house. So we ended up not taking the Journey's End property.
I'll show you where the line goes here, and then this line goes.
Okay, so that's nice. So you do have a little jut out here. So you're right here. This
is the road.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
Well, that's a nice view.
Yeah, that's good. Not a bad view there.
Oh, yeah.
Good clearing. No, it's not Jay Peak, but it's yeah, good view of the mountains.
Some people figure Jay gets.
Really do like that view. Head into the woods here. So just coming off of that right of way on the road. Whole property is 14.7 acres. A good stand of trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it was
It's a nice slope down the property. Down towards the brook. Which I guess we'll see in a minute. Looks like something's sleeping there. Maybe a bear underneath that tree. Different kind of terrain here. A lot of younger growth. Hard to get around.
I don't know, take it easier across.
I don't know.
What's that?
Nice little brook here. That's the border of the property. And it starts to open up, no more of that. It was really dense young growth, so getting back into bigger stuff. So that's just a summary of some of the things we did and properties that we saw on this week-long trip to try and buy land. I'm going to include details of the property that we actually ended up choosing in the next video, which you can find here. Well, thanks for watching. If you'd like to stay up to date on all the future happenings with my homestead project, then please subscribe. I promise there will be a lot of new footage to come. Also, leave a comment below of things that you might want to see in the future. Thanks.